For how long, may I ask?
About 3 years, yes. Came to do a garden, never left. So it's what I do, gardens, creation thereof. Very beautiful part of the world. Michael Garfield.
Hercule Poirot?
Oh, well, there's a turn-up.
Oui.
Good to know you, monsieur.
Je vous en prie.
On pleasure bent, I trust.
Indeed, no.
No.
No. Regardez.
Good God. Poor kid.
Oui, d'accord. The murder of a child, it is a crime so terrible, n'est-ce pas?
Have they got anyone for it?
No. And this little girl, Joyce, she was known to you?
No, I couldn't claim to know, but seen her around the place, I suppose. So you'll be coming around to give everyone the 3rd degree, then?
Perhaps. In the meantime, I wonder, some advice, s'il vous plaît.
Yes, fire away.
If I were to seek out the local, how do you call it, the chitter-chatter, the local gossip, to whom should I go? Monsieur?
Tell me, do you believe in witches?
God, this is grim.
What?
I mean, clearing up after a party is always a bit of a chore. But when one's had a murder, it feels so very parochial.
Stop trying to be clever.
I don't have to try, Edmund.
Stop it, both of you.
Sorry, Mummy.
Sorry, Mummy.
It's bad enough that this terrible thing happened in our house without you two snapping at one another like a couple of terriers.
You know who the police will be straight on to, of course.
What the hell do you mean?
Well, they hauled you in when that grubby little crook got himself killed.
And they couldn't find anything to pin on me then either. Could they, Edmund?
What are you doing, Mummy?
Oh, just old clutter. Lots of things I should have got rid of long ago. I'd rather you stayed in, Miranda. You're still off colour. And besides...
I know what you're going to say.
There really is a maniac on the loose. Will you stay indoors? For me?
Of course I will. I'll have to telephone Kathy, though.
Mademoiselle?
Who are you?
Hercule Poirot.
Oh, hello. Yes, Ariadne said you were coming.
Mum.
I'm sorry it's under such dreadful circumstances.
Ah, yes, indeed. But it is most kind of you to accommodate.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Where are my manners? Come in, please.
Merci.
Are you the detective man?
Ah, oui? Hercule Poirot. He is the greatest detective in the world. And how do you call yourself?
I'm Miranda.
Mademoiselle Miranda?
You'll be wanting to see Ariadne, I expect. I'm afraid she's in bed, poor thing.
Indeed.
You'll stay then? Get to the bottom of this ghastly thing.
Oui, madame. I saw a murder once. That is what the girl said?
Lots of people were talking, but we all heard her quite distinctly, didn't we?
It was a general poo-pooing.
Did you believe her?
Of course not. She was showing off, I'm afraid.
It's a rather tiresome age. Seems unkind to say it.
No, madame. In a case of murder, it is not unkind to say what the victim was like. Indeed, it is most necessary. And this girl, she gave no details, no names?
No. She got a bit upset because people were laughing at her.
Did she say when this murder it occurred?
Years ago, she said. But she said it in a rather would-be grown-up sort of way.
And she had not told the police?
No. She said, I didn't know at the time that it was a murder.
Well, that is a remark most interesting, huh? How is it that you come to know Madame Oliver?
I went on a Hellenic cruise this year. I managed to prevent Ariadne from falling into the harbour. We became fast friends after that.
And you have lived here a long time in Woodley Common?
Oh, yes, years.
And Monsieur Butler?
I'm afraid it's rather a sad story. Max was a pilot. He had an accident. It happened before Miranda was born, so he never saw his little girl.
Oh, je suis désolé, madame. But he would have been of her most proud, I am sure.
What now, monsieur?
Alors now it is time for Poirot to make a visit to the police.
It's a horrible business. The death of a child is always a bit of a wrench, but this... He was probably peeping through the French windows. That lock's very unsound. He saw there was a kiddies' party going on, lured the girl to the library and then killed her.
He?
Some lunatic. They let all sorts of people roam the streets these days.
And you have interviewed all those who were present at the Halloween party and established their whereabouts, huh?
Of course.
With what result?
No one seems to remember when they last saw Joyce Reynolds. The murder almost certainly took place during the game of Snapdragon. All the lights in the parlour were off. If anyone came or went, no one saw who they were.
And what about what was said by the little girl? That she witnessed once a murder?
Utter rot. You know what kids are like, always exaggerating. They tell you black was white at that age. What, you reckon there's something in it?
I do not know. A young girl boasts to have seen a murder, and some hours later that girl, she is dead. It could be cause and effect. Well, if so, somebody lost no time. There have been murders not solved in this area?
Look, I don't mean to be rude, sir. I mean, I've heard of you, of course. Who hasn't? But we have very modern methods of policing nowadays. I know you're very hot on your theorising, your psychological whatnots. But I think this is better left to us, don't you? To the professionals. We'll get there. Don't you worry.
Of that I have no doubt.
What are you going to do now, then?
With your permission, I will visit the scene of the crime. Good day to you, Inspector.
This is Mrs. Drake's famous garden.
But it is exquisite.
I'll have to tell Mrs. Drake Ariadne can't give her WI talk this afternoon. Though under the circumstances...
Ah oui, vraiment, oui.
She's assumed to command magnificently. She's rather good at that.
Madame, s'il vous plaît. Pardon. Merci.
All right?
Oui, merci. C'est formidable.
And yet people very rarely visit here.
And why is that?
Monsieur?
Ah, Monsieur Garfield.
Mrs. Butler. So what do you make of my little kingdom?
Oh, so this was the garden that you came here to execute? Mm-hmm. Oh, c'est vraiment superbe.
Of course, officially I finished it ages ago, but beauty always draws me back. I'm a bit like that dauber they used to drag out of art galleries because he'd still be retouching his paintings years after they'd been sold. Another 5 minutes, then it'll be a masterpiece.
We really shouldn't keep Mrs. Drake waiting.
No. Monsieur?
Monsieur.
Poor Joyce. It's God's will, I suppose. He moves in mysterious ways. They say he gathers those close to him who he cannot bear to be parted from. Now all I've got is my Leopold.
Oh, thank you.
Mrs. Butler. And this must be...
Hercule Poirot. Enchanté, madame.
This is Mrs. Reynolds. And Leopold.
Master Leopold. I'm so very sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you. You're the detective, are you?
Oui, madame.
Oh, it's very good of you, I'm sure, to come down here and help